In an especially brutal attack, Taylor allegedly took... Oh my God. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Drip Podcast. Episode 60. Wow. I'm joined by Lozzie and Scott. What a time to be alive. 60 episodes in.
That's it.
Good Lord.
6-0.
That is a lot.
That is a lot. Been ill this week. Oof. Might have been possessed by an illness demon. Demons they wear you down.
What are your symptoms?
Everything that you kind of get with COVID, but I did a COVID test and I don't have COVID, so...
So, new strain, paranormal COVID?
Probably. That's it. But I also, it was doubled up with a neck injury from the gym, so sneezing and stuff was very shit.
That is probably the worst combo.
Yeah, it really fucking is. So yeah, that went great. But anyway, how are you guys?
I'm illness free, so basically, not to make comparisons, but you know, I'm
but here we are.
That's it. I'm illness free, and I'm enjoying being illness free. Not to dig at you again.
That's it. You're just mocking me at this point. No, it's absolutely fine. I understand. Scott, are you ill?
I am halfway between the two of you. I've got a cough, but no other symptoms.
And
I have had this cough for about 4 months, so I'm not.
Well, that's perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. As all things should be. That's excellent. So we're kind of like with a spectrum of illness. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Right. So, a few things to talk about. Obviously, the 30 East Drive podcast came out last week. Check that out. If you haven't, it's where we're actually in 30 East Drive. And yeah, I thought it was a great podcast. Very funny, very fun. A lot of energy considering we'd been up for most of the night, which is interesting. Yeah. And there is no rest apart from for Scott, because we're straight back on it. We're going back to the Maid's Head Hotel for the Halloween special. Scott, unfortunately, it was too short notice, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't happen. Plus, it's on Friday. A little bit strange for us. And obviously not ideal for the working man. Understandably. So there we go. Scott will not be joining us, but Scott, I'm sure you will eagerly await the video coming out and give it a little watch, wouldn't you? That's it.
Yes.
Nice. We might just if you could be not saying to be on call, but obviously when you weren't at the church one, we FaceTimed you and then you didn't answer.
I was asleep at that point. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that weren't late though. It must be like fucking 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I was still asleep, but it's not going to change the fact I was asleep.
No, that's true. That's true. But it's like you made it sound like we were calling you like 3 a.m. Like, why the fuck isn't he available? But no, I'm just saying we might give you a FaceTime or something, get you involved. So just if you can't answer, you're busy, whatever. That's totally cool. But just be aware you might get a call. But yeah, Loz, are you looking forward to going back?
I am. This was around this sort of time last year we went, wasn't it?
Yeah, must have been.
Yeah, I think it was.
Must have been. This might have been our November one. Yeah, this might have been our November one.
So yeah, I enjoyed that location. I know you probably don't have fond memories of it towards the end of the night, but yeah, I thought I enjoyed it.
Okay, excellent. Well, I saw there's a birth of many things there. I'm a ghoul now, and of course, damnation. That is where damnation was born. And you've snuck it into. I think you've snuck it into every investigation since.
Yeah, I think so. The ones
which is impressive. Yeah. So yeah, we're doing the Maid's Head again. That'll be fun. That'll be really fun. We've got a special guest, which we'll have to wait and see who that is. Okay, right. So possession. Where do we stand on it? I know, obviously, Lozzie, you're a skeptic. Where do you stand on possession?
Well, to put it kind of lightly, I don't believe in it.
Right. Do you think it's more of a mental affliction?
I would lean that way, yes.
Right. Okay. Scott, what do you think?
I think it's definitely an interesting one because there's a lot of cases that I think can be put down to mental stuff.
Yeah.
But then you've also got some cases like Annalise Mikel, who started speaking a language that she didn't know and
Explain
quoting
that one, Loz.
random Nazi generals that, again, she didn't know.
It's true.
I mean, I don't want to say she's been researching Nazi stuff, but you know what I mean? I don't know.
But yeah, it's kind of weird because it is that kind of knowledge that people have sometimes.
Yeah, and speaking in tongues and different voices and pitches and floating. That's another one, Loz. Explain that one.
Oh, you actually mean like physically floating? Right. I thought that was a term for something else. Don't know why.
Some sort of linguistic ability, floating. Like that. What is it? Where is it? Is it the Inuits that where they do the like where they do like the double vocal cord thing? Have you heard that?
Yeah, I think
I don't know if it's them, but there's someone out there that there's a group of people that do that. It's pretty funky. But yeah, no. As for floating, I mean, I'm only joking. Like the Enfield haunting, she does just look like she jumped off the bed and it's just had a picture taken. But who knows? Hey, we're gonna look at a couple of stories of demonic possession. The last one we're gonna look at is the true story behind the new Netflix sensation Deliverance. So that might be interesting. But we're going to start with a suggestion. We had this suggested. Actually, I'm just going to quickly grab the person that suggested it, because why not? You deserve a shout out. Nathan Jeremiah, who wanted us to look into the Ossett murder demonic possession case. And as soon as I saw that, I put it in our drip chat, and the exact quote was, "The fucking what now?" And then, and that's a positive. Yeah, it's like, the fucking hell. Tasty. So, let's have a look. So, this is all about Michael Taylor, the English murderer who was allegedly possessed by over 40 demons. I mean, listen, if you're going to get possessed, right, I think I'd rather it was just a singular entity, because that's a lot. That's a lot to be going on inside you, innit? 40 demons.
It is.
Having their way with your mind, body, and soul.
Some say too much.
Some would say too much.
I mean, what is the optimum number?
I would say 0.
Yeah. True.
But if I had to choose, it would be uno.
I think you can get to about 4.
You can get to 4.
Oh, why?
Once you get to about 4, you start getting a bit, it gets a bit overcrowded. But 4 is a reasonable number.
Right. Scott's about to tell us he's got 4 demonic possessions.
That's it. So, on October 6th, 1974, an Englishman named Michael Taylor brutally murdered his wife Christine in the small town of Ossett, England. The night before, he'd allegedly been the focus of an exorcism led by his local church. Well, imagine that, right? From the perspective of, like, the exorcist and the church people that were there at the exorcism, and they were like, and obviously, I haven't read ahead, so we don't know. We're going to discover the story together as we go along. But, like, imagine they were like, fucking nailed it. We got rid of that demon. Get fucked, Satan. Next day, the dude murders his fucking wife. Fuck, there was 39 others in there. Bollocks! That's another issue. You know, how do exorcisms work? Is it like one exorcism per demon, or do you have like a mass exorcism? A exorcism? What happens?
Get a package deal.
Oh, the Taylors weren't particularly religious, but found a community with the Gorba Christian Fellowship group. There, Michael found something else too, an attraction to Marie Robinson, a lay preacher. After Robinson rejected his advances, however, Taylor's personality seemed to change. He started acting erratically and even screamed at and struck Robinson. Wait a minute! Marie is not Christine. Oh dear, I just picked up on that. Different woman.
There's different woman, can confirm.
That's it. So, he struck her. Soon, the church group decided that he needed an exorcism. Whoa, this cheating piece of shit. He needs an exorcism because he's got the devil in him. He's got the devil in him. After summoning the Taylors to a local church, the group restrained Michael and spent hours trying to cure his alleged demonic possession. They screamed at him, burned his tainted wooden cross, and allegedly succeeded at exorcising 40 demons from his body. Okay, so they thought they got them all. They thought they got them all. Though they believed three... Oh, no, wait. I'll tell you what, I need to stop speaking. Though they believed 3 demons remained. Demons associated with murder, violence, and insanity. You've done 40. Why do you go, right, let's pack it up. It's only the murder, violence, and insanity demons left. We're good.
To be fair, they probably weren't getting paid overtime.
Well,
that's a good point.
You get to the end of your shift.
Tell you what, you've tried and scrimp and say, like, there are, you know, they say you buy cheap, you buy twice. Well, when it comes to an exorcism, it doesn't fucking end well. The church group let Michael and Christine go home. The next morning, Michael turned on his wife. In an especially brutal attack, I need to remember this actually happened as well. In my head, this is a movie, and this is actually a brutal murder. In an especially brutal attack, Taylor allegedly took... Oh my fucking God. Oh, right, okay. In an especially brutal attack, Taylor allegedly tore his wife's eyes and tongue out with his bare hands, then killed and dismembered their dog. Police promptly arrested Michael, who told investigators that the exorcism the previous night had failed. I mean, there's a time and a place, mate. What the fuck? He's like, yeah, fucked up there. He's in handcuffs, like getting into the back of the police. The vicar's there, and he's like, you fucked that up, didn't you? You left a few of them in there. Jesus Christ. They were too late, he said. According to the Sussex Devils, a true story, the 1980s satanic panic. I was compelled by a force within me to destroy everything living within the house. Screen Rant reported that Taylor was acquitted at trial due to reasons of insanity. He spent 4 years in a psychiatric hospital before he was released. So he got 4 years for ripping his wife's eyes and tongue out with his bare fucking hands.
That's insane.
By
the very definition.
I mean, that is absolutely insane. What? I mean, dare I ask a penny for your thoughts?
So, one thing I did, you said the way they got him there for the exorcism. Did you say they invited him somewhere and then basically jumped him and exorcised him?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just a bit weird because, like, from what I was gauging, right? Like, he kind of wanted to cheat on his wife, and the church took that as he's possessed because he's wanted to cheat. Then he's got angry and attacked the woman he was. I don't see the connection, but hey, it led to an exorcism. Let's read this. I want to read the. I know this is a little bit. I want to read the Wikipedia entry.
Okay.
because I just want to understand what was going on with this woman. So in 1974, Taylor's wife, Christine, stated to a Christian fellowship group to which Taylor belonged that his relationship with the lay leader of the group, Marie Robinson, was carnal in nature. In psychology, libido is psychic drive or energy, usual conceived as a sexual nature. Right. Michael Taylor admitted that he felt evil within him and eventually attacked Robinson verbally, who screamed back at him. During the next meeting, Michael Taylor received an absolution. That's when they're like 7 Hail Marys, whatever, and you're forgiven. But nevertheless, his behaviour continued to become more erratic. As a result, the local vicar called in other ministers experiencing deliverance in preparation to cast out the demons residing within the man. Right. So, right. Okay. Also, his occupation was a butcher, by the way.
Wow.
So the exorcism, which occurred on the 5th to the 6th of October 1974 in the church, was headed by Father Peter Vincent, the Anglican priest of St. Thomas's, and was aided by a Methodist clergyman, the Reverend Raymond Smith. According to Bill Ellis, an authority on folklore and the occult in contemporary culture, the exorcists believed that they had, in an all-night ceremony, invoked and cast out at least 40 demons, including those of incest, bestiality, blasphemy, and lewdness. At the end, exhausted, they allowed Taylor to go home, although they felt that at least 3 demons, insanity, murder, and violence, were still left in him. That's what... I get it. You're exhausted, yeah? I bet that incest one, bestiality, blasphemy... You know, I bet they're bastards to get out of a man like that, right? That possessed. But why would you... What? I almost feel like, you know, the going got tough and they were like, fuck this. It's a weird one.
I almost feel like they've prioritised them in the wrong order. Start with the murder demon, I would probably say.
Yeah, use your energy
Incest
on
demon's
that.
not great, but murder demon, I'd say, is worse.
Yeah.
I guarantee the blasphemy one was the first one out.
That's it. Priorities. But, like, you know, I'd imagine it's easier to keep his family away from him than it is to exercise an incest demon, right? But so there are ways around it. So there's a little bit of information left out on the previous article. So Taylor brutally murdered his wife, Christine. He attacked her with his bare hands, tearing her eyes out, her tongue out, and almost tearing her face off. Good God. He was found by a policeman naked in the street, covered in blood. He was sent to Broadmoor Hospital for 2 years and spent another 2 years in a secure ward in Bradford. Well, hey, that is a hell of a story. Very, very tragic murder at the heart of it. And, yeah, an exorcism gone wrong. So this is the thing, right? And this is the thing with exorcisms and demonic possessions and stuff, right? Let's take the paranormal out of the situation for a moment and look at it from a psychology point of view. You have a mentally unhinged man who was not handed over to authorities. Instead, he was left to brutally murder his wife. So I think, listen, if you want to go down this route of exorcisms and stuff, okay, cool, I get it. Let's combine the two. Let's get them incarcerated first, then do the exorcism.
Yeah.
If it's a case as I know hindsight 2020, but if it's a case so extreme as this, you know what I mean? But again, hindsight's 2020. It's easy for me to say that, etc., etc. But
it is like you say, from that point of view, it's almost like provoke someone who's potentially mentally unstable, and then let them loose into the wild.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's like you said, there needed to be another step there where there's like a medical professional to assess his state after the exorcism, at least.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, right, next story. Anna Eklund, the woman whose supposed demonic possession lasted for 12 years. Whoa. Born around 1882, Anna Eklund, whose real name may be Emma Schmidt, seemed like an ordinary girl. But as she got older, Eklund began to show alleged signs of demonic possession, leading to a series of exorcisms that lasted for 23 days in 1928. According to Time, a priest named Theophilus Reisinger exorcised Eklund in Erling, Iowa, after hearing about how she had suffered from demonic possession for at least 12 years. The Daily Star reported... Was the Daily Star around then? Or is this just an article? Oh, no, this is just an article from, like, July 2021. So I was like, the Daily Star was around in 1928?
Oldest newspaper
The
going.
Daily Star was founded in 1978, so it was.
No, this is 1928. Yeah, she was born in 1888, and this is now 1928. Scott!
I'm a decade out, you're right. Century? Decade?
Century out. The Daily Star reported that she showed signs of distress around religious objects, engaged in unspeakable sexual acts, and suffered from disturbing thoughts. In 1928, the 40-something Eklund was brought to Father Theophilus, who'd already cast out the devil 19 times in other people. That's pretty sick. That's a flex.
That is a flex.
So basically, you know, the devil, when Father Theophilus shows up, he's like, oh, fuck, not this guy. He's got my number, this guy, you know.
It's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah. Satan's an electric winger. Theophilus is just that fucking stalwart centre-back I just can't get past.
So,
and it gets in his head, and then they go to the away fixture, and it's like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to score. I'm not going to score this game. Bench me, coach. That's Theophilus in a nutshell. As nuns held Eklund down, Father Theophilus began the exorcism, but as he started to speak, Eklund, with lightning speed, dislodged herself from the bed and the hands of protectors, and her body, carried through the air, landed high above the door of the room and clung to the wall with cat-like grips. Undeterred, Father Theophilus continued. He allegedly determined that Eklund was possessed by multiple demons, including her sexually abusive father. He allegedly murdered... Sorry, what the fuck? That's really thrown me because so possessed by multiple demons, including a sexually abusive father. So what, her father become a demon? Can you do that? Can you become a demon?
There is some theory in some religious kind of groups that if you commit certain kinds of evil, it does essentially make you demonic to an extent in the afterlife. It's kind of like going to hell, but then going that extra step.
Wow. Okay. Didn't know that. Okay. Interesting. So, including her sexually abusive father, his allegedly murderous mistress.
Oh, wow.
Beelzebub. I feel like he should have got a mention first. And others. The demon spoke in Latin, German, and English, and Eklund ejected horrible excrements as Father Theophilus prayed over her. But after 23 days of the exorcism, something seemed to shift. Anna Eklund suddenly smiled for the first time in 12 years and exclaimed, "My Jesus, mercy. Praised be Jesus Christ."
Wow, there you go.
That's it. She was cured. Which is great. After 23 years, she had smile in 12 years. That's tragic. And now here she is, smiling, living her best life. Praise be to the Lord.
That's it.
That is great, isn't it? That is great. That's what you like to hear. I don't know how. I wonder how Father Theophilus felt about that. Because it's a bit like, you know, you go for surgery or, you know, life-threatening or life-saving surgery. You come out of it. the surgeon and all the nurses and everyone in there. It's been in there for like 14 hours trying to save you. They save you. You come out of it and you're like, oh, thank the Lord. And the surgeon's got to be stood there like, what the fuck, man? That was literally, I did that. So I wonder if Theophilus got a little bit of a god complex from all of his, he's like, I'm not being funny, Lord. But I don't know how many times you've beat the devil, but I've beat him nearly 20 times now. So if there's a hierarchy around here, I think I should be moved up a little bit. What are you saying? It's entirely speculative. I'm not saying that it's probably quite blasphemous for him to do that. But you never know. Could have got a bit of an ego if he's been fucking beating the shit out of Satan. If you're going to get an ego, I think that, ironically, because I'm sure ego is a sin, but ironically, I reckon that would give you an ego.
Yeah, and that's started his villain arc.
That's it. What a way to fucking start it, though. That's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, so a nice end to that one. She came out of a 12-year possession. Smiled for the first time. No, was it 12 years? Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
There we go. Mental. Right. Okay, the real story behind Netflix demonic possession horror, The Deliverance. Have either of you seen it?
I have not.
No.
I've seen the majority of it. I haven't finished it yet, so I kind of feel like I probably should, but here we are. It's just felt like the perfect time to put this one in here, so but as what I've seen so far, it's fantastic. Let's do this. Okay, so warning, this post contains spoilers for fucking hell, hiccups. The Deliverance. Are either of you bothered by that?
Not massively.
Okay, anyone at home? Switch off now. Okay, so opening with a title card that claims its story is inspired by true events. The Deliverance chronicles the plight of the Pittsburgh-based Jackson family as they contend with a demonic possession that threatens to destroy them from the inside out. Now, I have scanned through this article, and it said something at the end that, Scott, I think you're going to shart your little panties. I was going to say parties, but panties.
I'm excited.
Yes, you should be. Directed by Lee Daniels, from a screenplay he co-wrote with Elijah Bynum and David Cogshall. The new religiously fueled horror, which received a limited theatrical release on August 16th before arriving on Netflix, is dramatized. I didn't realize it had a limited theatrical release. Dramatization of the alleged haunting of the Amons family that took place in Gary, Indiana? Yeah, in 2011. Okay, so the movie stars Andra Day as Ebony Jackson, a fictionalized version of LaToya Amons, a mother of 3 who began experiencing what she claimed were supernatural occurrences, from infestations of flies to the sounds of footsteps and doors opening in the night, after moving herself, her mother, and her children into a rental home in Gary that has since come to be known. Oh, it's actually here as well, as the Demon House of Indiana. Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
What was the Amon haunting case? An investigation into Amon's family's alleged haunting, published in 2014 by the Indianapolis Star, detailed how Amon supposedly came to believe that she and her children, then aged 7, 9, and 12, had been possessed by demons that were residing in their newly rented home on the Carolina Street in Gary. While Amon spoke to the Star on the condition that her children not be interviewed or named, she signed releases that allowed the newspaper to review medical, psychological, and official records that were not open to the public and described as not always flattering. Amons claimed that the strange occurrences at the Carolina Street house began in December 2011, when the family noticed that, despite winter temperatures, swarms of black flies were infiltrating their screened-in porch. This is not normal, Amons' mother, Rosa Campbell, told the Star. We killed them and killed them and killed them, but they kept coming back. Things reportedly escalated over the next few months, with Eamons describing increasingly bizarre and dangerous episodes during which the kids allegedly levitated, were thrown across rooms, and spoke in deep, unnatural voices. The Gary Police Department, Indiana Department of Child Services, and local hospital all became involved in the case, with officers, medical staff, and social workers reporting they'd witnessed incidents of the nature that Eamons was perpetuating. Lozzie, coming to you. So, bizarre shit's going on. Yeah? Kids are levitating. Things are being thrown across. The children were thrown across rooms and spoke in deep, unnatural voices. The police department, child services, and local hospital staff all witnessed some of these things. What are you saying?
Maybe the paranormal's real then.
There you go. We got him. Fade inbound.
That's it.
That's it.
Just
like
that one. This one case proves it.
Well, what about the Enfield case, where the police literally watched a chair go across the kitchen and reported it in their police statement? Why would they do that? They have nothing to gain.
It's true, they don't have anything to gain on the face of it. But does it prove to me? No. I've already said the bar's quite high.
The bar is incredibly high.
It's very high.
But hey, never change.
One
It's
day.
a beautiful thing. One day, maybe. That's the thing. If the bar is high, then it does change. Holy shit. Holy shit. Right, Scott, what do you think? It's always good when the police are like, whoa.
Well, I think I realised halfway through why you think I'm going to enjoy this.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it is. When the police are involved, obviously, it gets a lot more interesting. And generally, I think the story just has a lot of kind of really interesting detail. And kind of, again, it's always a thing. It's weirdly specific things that you wouldn't necessarily mention if you were just going to go about this to get, like the flies. I don't think you'd necessarily bring up if you were trying to get exciting demon activity.
Yeah. You'd be like, the walls were bleeding. Yeah. Others were skeptical that the origin of the problem was paranormal. In April 2012, an unnamed complainant filed an official report with DCS asking the agency to investigate Eamons for possible child abuse or neglect. The source reported that they believed Eamons was suffering from mental health concerns and that the children were performing for their mother and she was encouraging the behavior. Shortly after, DCS took emergency custody of the kids without a court order. The agency was then granted temporary wardship of Eamons' children. Oh, dear. Following an evaluation of Eamons' younger son, a clinical psychologist concluded that the children's stories about the possession were bizarre, fragmented, and illogical, and changed each time he told them. This appears to be an unfortunate and sad case of a this is a quote, by the way. This appears to be an unfortunate and sad case of a child who has been induced into a delusional system perpetuated by his mother, she wrote. Another psychologist reported similar findings about the older two children. Oh dear. Eventually, in June 2012, Reverend Michael Magano, the priest of St. Stephen Martyr Parish in Merrillville, Indiana, performed 3 major exorcisms on Eamons at his church and blessed her new home in Indianapolis. Oh, maybe it's Indianapolis. I don't know. After moving to the new house and working to meet the objectives of DCS case plan for her family, Eamons regained custody of her children in November 2012. The landlord of the Carolina Street house said there were no issues with the home before or after the Eamons family lived there. However, the house later became... Here we go, Scott. The house later became the subject of Zach Bagans' 2018 documentary Demon House and was demolished in 2016 as part of the film's production. Bagans is best known as the host of the Travel Channel series Ghost Adventures. Yeah, I watched that documentary. And literally, have you seen it, Loz?
No.
So he buys this house. He buys this house. He does loads of shit. He locks himself inside. He gets attacked by whatever's in there. And then he's like, this is so evil. I've decided to bulldoze the property. And then the last scene in this fucking documentary is this house getting bulldozed. Like, what a fuck? But didn't he saved the staircase or something?
It's in his museum in Vegas.
He took the staircase to his, What happened with the staircase?
So it's in Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum, where he also has various other things, including a weird relationship with the Annabelle doll. Where the Annabelle doll
should do.
Comes.
Sorry to interrupt, Scott. Please continue in a second. We should do an episode on everything that is in Zach Bagans' museum. That would be quite interesting. But the staircase.
So I can't remember any specifics about it. I just know that was one of the bits that survived. And he has it reconstructed in the museum, or did have anyway. I don't know if it's still there.
Was it something that happened to him, or was it something that happened to these guys on the staircase? I can't remember. But he saved that bit specifically for a reason, I think. But yeah. So let's just for the banter, there's another bit to this article. It says how the deliverance changes the story. Okay. So, like most possession-fueled horrors that purport to be based on real-life events, think The Conjuring and The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Deliverance takes significant liberties with the fact of the case, especially when it comes to the exorcism or deliverance portion of the story. However, in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Daniels made it clear that he was approaching the film as a faith-based thriller. I just want to say quickly, The Conjuring annoys me how different that house is. Like, the Conjuring house in The Conjuring is like a dream fucking American house, and then in reality, it's like a fucking shack.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Okay, so we had never seen this story through this lens of this African-American woman on screen, and I just felt we're in such dark times, and I don't think people really know how dark of times we're in. And I felt that like I needed to get reconnected to my higher power, he said. I'm scaring you to Jesus for me. It could be scaring you to Allah. It could be scaring you to Buddha. It could be scaring you to whomever it is that you have faith in, but it's scaring you to a faith. So is Daniels the director? I think. When asked by the reporter whether he spoke with Amons while making the movie, Daniels stated that he talked to her once or twice at the beginning of the process. It's my interpretation of her life story. I purposely didn't want to meet her because I was nervous, he said. But I spoke to her and she's lovely. She was at peace. That's interesting to me. You're making a story about someone's life and you speak to her twice. The director went on to elaborate on specific details of the Amons case that he chose to tweak. What I've changed a little bit is I made her mother white because I have so many mixed race friends and I wanted to talk about what it's like to have a white mother and live in a black girl's body, he said. And then, and the deliverance person was actually a guy and not a girl. But there are so many women that do this work too that don't get recognized, so I changed that a little bit. And of course, their names and such. That's interesting, to say the least. I mean, again, it's a weird thing to do. If this is meant to be someone's life story, surely you keep it faithful, excuse the pun, to the life story. But I get the sentiment of there are many women that do this work too that don't get recognized. I get that. But again, there was a dude that exorcised this family and seemingly saved the day. So I feel like he should get a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit if it's a man? Just he's the one that did it. You know,
if you really want to highlight the the women that are doing this kind of work, pick one of their stories and make that into TV. Like
do a movie about a female exorcist's life. Yeah,
I feel like swapping one that's based on a true story to then make it not a true story, essentially.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It's a weird
But
choice.
hey, what this it was his choice. Here we are. You might agree with it, you might disagree with it, but hey ho, the exorcism happened. The film also shifts the setting and nature of the religious rite that took place, changing it from an exorcism at a church to a so-called deliverance at the family's home. That's actually pretty mental, considering he called the film The Deliverance. But I'd also love to know the difference between a deliverance and an exorcism. We'll Google that in a second. Or Scott, could you Google that? What's the difference between deliverance and an exorcism? As for what the difference between the two is, it's now about to tell us. I need to stop speaking and just read. I'm trying to make, this very transformative and chit-chatty and all the rest of it, but I just keep being made to look like a fucking twat. Right, so to her understanding, a deliverance is less about just exorcising a demon from someone. It's more about the whole deliverance of the person, not just getting rid of the demon, but actually ushering them into a relationship with God or with Christ. It's a whole transformational thing. Okay, that's cool. So you're delivering them to the Lord. Got ya. A deliverance. Right. Makes sense. It makes sense. Well, there we go. So that's the deliverance. And the true story behind it, which is cool. I do love a good possession movie, and they're rare because there's a lot of shit ones, like a lot. Yeah. But then that's kind of horror movies in a nutshell, isn't it? There's a lot of shit horror films. But hey ho, I am now scrolling because it's time for the Patreon.
Just before you do that, Scott, yes. You've put a picture here. Is that the staircase?
This is the staircase, yeah.
Ah.
This is the staircase. So it was the staircase to the basement, apparently. From the demon house. I guess they leveled it, and then obviously the basement's underneath, so that wasn't leveled. So they kind of, after clearing the debris, went, "Oh, we'll have that."
Okay.
And kind of picked that out and reconstructed it, and that is now the actual staircase, I believe, that you use to get around the museum. I'm not quite sure, but yeah.
Wow,
I just thought I'd get a picture of the staircase.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man.
Cool.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
but yeah. We'll definitely do an episode on Zach. But what would you say, Scott, just to not buy me time finding a question, but what is your favourite piece in Zach Bagans' museum?
So there is a rocking chair in that museum that I can't remember the exact story to, and we will cover that in the episode we do. That essentially when you sit in, it kind of feels like you're being completely oppressed, like almost possessed while sitting in this chair. I think Sam and Colby did a video at the museum and got kind of, again, one of them sat in the chair and then had this sort of feeling. And I think, and I might be wrong, I'm sure I've seen somewhere that one of them said that could have contributed towards his cancer that he then got afterwards.
Oh yes, one of them did get. I think I want to say cancer, wasn't it?
Colby.
Yes, yeah.
And I want to say that he has at some point at least suggested that could have theoretically been a contributing factor. I obviously don't know the logistics of that statement, but
it's quite a claim.
I'm sure he said something on the lines of, after sitting in that chair and after staring into the eyes of one of the haunted dolls that apparently kills you, which might have been in a different museum. But those two things together kind of could have been responsible in some way.
Jesus.
When you say that about, the doll that you stare at, you die. I just wish that I touched that fucking figurine at Haprica.
Mm-hmm.
Just to end the suffering, No, just to prove them wrong. Yeah, I'd love to go back to Haprica.
Touch the doll.
I do. I mean, we're going back to Maid's Head, and we've just been back to 30 East Drive. I think the one after this, we need to go somewhere else. I'm thinking Cannock Chase. That would be cool. Mm-hmm. That'd be cool. But I do think we need to go somewhere. There's nothing wrong with revisiting. I love revisiting places, but I think we need somewhere fresh on the next one. But yeah, no, definitely back to Haprica at some point, without a doubt. Okay, right. Let's have a little look. See. Okay. Let's go. Right now. Okay, I kind of know the answer to this, I think. I would like to know. This is specifically for Loz, right? I want to know if the needle has moved. Hi, team. This is B. Steven93. This question is for Lozzie, but I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on the matter. Okay, so it is for me and you as well, Scott. Has Lozzie's recent experience at 30 East Drive changed his view on the paranormal at all? Or is he still a skeptic?
No.
Fuck's
It has.
sake.
Look,
At all.
in my defense, right?
Yeah.
My challenge was completely, let's just say, fucked, because
It was.
everyone else was making noise, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's got to be them upstairs. The only thing that was weird is the battery. I can't really say for sure if it was paranormal or not, but that is one thing that people claim happens is battery drain, and that does
Yeah.
seem to have happened there. But again, my bar is so high that it's going to be difficult to sway me. So
Yeah.
nothing that was included in that video or the experiences that we had during the time we were there moved the needle for me.
Okay.
Do
that's
you
fair.
think if you had been in Bailey's place and had seen what he saw at the top of the stairs,
that would
how
have
do you think that would have?
That would have
unsettled
unsettled
you?
me, definitely. But I think I said in a previous episode, I don't know whether it's just me trying to rationalize it, but I really do feel like at that point in time, your brain is telling you there might be something there for your
Yeah.
self-preservation. I don't know, completely uneducated theory, but that's my kind of overall thought about it.
That's fair. No, that's fair. Scott,
Yes.
what do you think about the 30 East Drive experience?
I mean, it was
Now you've had a
obviously-
minute to think about it, because obviously we have done a pod last week, but that was the morning of.
Yeah, now I've had time, obviously, and to watch it back and see
Yeah.
a few bits, I guess, from another perspective. The thing that I had when I was in the bath, the noise, was, I still can't explain that, because that was pretty much identical to the noise we then replicated with you opening or knocking that door,
Yeah.
which kind of implies to me that something had moved that door in some way.
Which is because the thing is, because I know, like, it could be a fucking shit latch or whatever. We came upstairs and it was shut, and it goes off, I think, 2 or 3 times. So it sounds like it's opened, then shut again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really get, with no breeze or anything going through there, how that happens.
No, and again, it was shut solid. I mean, you put weight against it.
I nearly put my foot through the door trying to open it with my foot.
And it was that almost because again, I was in that and I knew it came from in the corridor, or I knew it came from behind the camera.
Yeah.
Because there were other noises in there that I think were probably just me moving in the bath.
Yeah.
Making the floor creak, making things around creak. A few of the noises I'm sure could be put down to that. But that one specifically, which we heard twice throughout that, was definitely outside of the room, not downstairs.
Yeah, no, it's very, very true. Very, very true. What do you think about that, Loz?
I can't really. It's unexplained because, like you say, you yourself tried to open the door with your foot and then you booted it in. So it wasn't like a dodgy latch, because that would have just opened and closed with the littlest amount of pressure put on either side. But it goes back to, if you're more inclined to the paranormal, that might be enough for you to go, that's paranormal. And you then believe in, whatever spectrum of things come with paranormal. But for me, it's not going to be enough for me to go, oh, that's definitely paranormal. Like, it depends on the person. The barrier of evidence, or the bar of evidence, is unfortunately very high for me. But I think it gives a good balance to the team, in my opinion. So
no, absolutely does.
Yeah, I do like having.
I wouldn't change it.
I like having the level-headed skeptic there.
For sure.
It definitely adds an entire sort of new, almost a challenge.
Yeah. I really wish that you were there in the first Ancient Ramin when the mirror happened.
Yeah.
For many reasons, not just like, because it would have changed your mind. We might have had a more level-headed perspective in the moment. You don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, great question, B. Steven93. Thank you very much.
What about you, Jordan, for that one?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I when I was doing my solo, it was very interesting the fact that I felt like I saw something in the exact same place that Bailey saw something. And there was also like editing it. I know it's an old building and all the rest of it, but editing that video, there was so many fucking noises in that. But like noises where it sounds like doors are opening, not just like a knock and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fucking weird. So
I mean,
yeah, I
your
don't know,
solo.
man. I do kind of think that there is something in that house. And I know, like, I've seen some comments, man. The majority of comments have been lovely, but there are some comments where I don't think they've got a problem with us. They've got a problem with the 30 East Drive. And they're just like, oh, this place is a fucking scam. It's a money pit. You're wasting your money. Which, to my answer to that, my honest answer is, if the paranormal is real or not, we enjoy ourselves when we go and do this, you know. And at the end of the day, we're friends, spending time together, having a nice time. And so that, to me, is worth the money. We are then producing free entertainment for people, which is escapism for those people. And hey, you never know. We might fucking catch a ghost on video. So it's not a fucking waste of time or money to me at all. But they do seem to be, you know, quite perturbed by 30 East
Yeah,
Drive for some
I
reason.
I saw a few of those comments similar to, I
Yeah.
think, the same sort of ones, and it's kind of like, it could be both.
Yeah.
Just because they are charging, money to go there, and it may be a money-making scam, in brackets, quotes even. It's kind of like, why can't it still be a very haunted building as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
No, absolutely. But yeah, it's just fucking, I don't know, man. Just there was a lot of unsettling things happened, in my opinion. Could they all be explained? Probably, you know. But at the same time, could they be paranormal? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. All I'd say, you know, I just, we went there, we had a fun time, we had a spooky time, and I think we made one of the best investigations that we've made so far, which is fucking awesome. So, yeah. But no, B Steven 93, thank you very much for the question. Appreciate it. And we will be back next week. I'm thinking, I don't know. Basically, we're obviously doing an investigation and we'll be filming a podcast there. I'm wondering if we don't do a spoilerific one, just do a podcast from the location. So that is next week's podcast.
Yeah, can do.
That could work. Or we do a spoilery one and because that's going out. We'll figure it out. Anyway, we'll be doing a podcast from the Matehead at some, and you'll see it at some point. It's either going to be next week or in Halloween at some point. Yeah, sweet. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Like and share, or however you listen or watch the pod. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled for some t-shirts. I've made the first batch of Drip Voodoo Doll t-shirts. They're very, very cool.
Nice.
And yeah, we will be back very, very soon. Drip drop, dribbity drop. See you in a bit. Bye.